Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tonya and this is a channel where I talk about my knitting. That's all I'll be talking about today, really. No crochet today. I've got some dyeing I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a few other things that are pretty exciting for our little community. So, if you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for spending time with us. All the ways to get in touch with me are listed in the description box below if you are interested in reaching out to me in any other way than just watching me on your screen. I love interaction. I love the community that we've built up here. So if you guys are returning, thank you so much for all of that. I have been gone a couple of weeks, and a couple different excuses is really what we're going to call them, because that's what they are. I've just been busy. I have been dyeing yarn. I have my first trunk show scheduled, and I have advents that I'm doing, and I'm doing some dyeing for a friend of mine who owns a yarn shop, and I have just been busy. I've got a lot of things that I've been working on, and I'm excited to share some of it with you guys as I feel like I've gotten it where I want it, then I'll share it. But I don't want to share something and be like, oh, but I'm going to change this. So we will save all of that for the end. I am not going to race through this. So this might be a long episode, and you'll probably notice a light difference, a shifting in the lights, because right now I'm looking around for my phone. It's right in front of me. It is, I'm going to say about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I have an appointment to get my nails done today. And yeah, it's 4:53. So I have an appointment that I'm going to go to for my nails tonight. And so I'm going to get as much as I can done right now, because I need to roll the dice to see what my next project is, so I can take something to my knitting or my nail appointment, and then I'll come back, and anything that I've missed I will share with you guys at that point. So I do my episodes just a little bit differently. I roll the dice. I've been doing this for well over a year now, and I roll the dice, and I have all my projects lined up in cubbies on what I call my whip wall. And I roll the dice. I've got 2 dice on there, and it tells me which cubby to go to and which project to take out of that cubby, because several of them I have 2 projects in. So I pick out that project, I work on it for a week. If I finish it before the week is up, I could come and roll the dice again. I may pick something else up that I just want to work on. This week what I did finish that project, you guys, and I will share that with you in just a minute. But I picked up another project, and I didn't roll the dice for this one because this one had a deadline. And if you guys have been here for a bit, you'll have seen this. I got that one done as well. And other times, anyway, I have 2 FOs and a hoe this week, which is very exciting for me, because these are my first FOs of the year. And I was getting a little down on myself. Like I need to finish a couple of these, and it feels good to be able to finish 2 big ones. So let's start with the project that I rolled last time you guys were here, and that was my Stephen West Meshy Twist. Now, this project was so much fun, and I'm going to open up my iPad here so that I can tell you what the wool was that I used for this, because I have it all listed. And I've already there we go. I've already weighed my leftovers. These are my leftovers for my Meshy Twist by Stephen West. So I know what my yardage is, because I keep track of that. But you guys, this was a massive project. I'm gonna slide back a little bit so you guys can see. It is so massive. It was over 9 feet long when we blocked it. and it just keeps going. But this right here is where I was when we rolled the dice. This is where I was when you guys saw this last. So from this stitch marker down was all finished or all left to do. But look at that border. I loved that. And this stitch right here was something I had never done before. And it was so fun to learn something new. I absolutely loved it. It was a little confusing, but not so bad that I couldn't figure it out. And it turned out so beautiful. I absolutely, let me slide my chair back forward. I did make this larger than what the pattern called for, mainly because I don't like to have a lot of leftovers. So this black up here was by So Happy Jane, which is a local to me. Then I've got this purple here that is Trilogy yarn, and it was called Goodbye to Life. And then I had this green that was Plucky Knitter, and I did not have enough of this trilogy to go across. And the patterns calls for once you get to this point, the rest of this is all this final color. But I really kind of liked the idea of having a finishing edge be different. And all of these picos for the Pico bind off. You guys, can I just tell you, I was kind of dreading it because I had 1,181 stitches on the needles for this Pico bind off. But I have to say, it was a lot of fun. It didn't bother me in the least. It did take me 2 evenings, but it was well worth it. And I just thought this was lovely. Oh, so pretty. So again, this is called the Meshy Twist by Stephen West. And this was cast on last July. So you guys may remember that Nancy over at Kitty Scrapper, she's got a YouTube channel. And she was like, you know, for my birthday, we all decided we were going to do something. And she decided she wanted us all to cast on a Stephen West in neons, but I had just put all of my neons into a different Stephen West. And so one day on Zoom, I just pulled yarn out of my stash and Nancy helped pick these colors to go together. And I'm so glad she did. I don't know if I would have chosen these colors to go together, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. So I finally got Nancy's birthday project finished. It turned out so great. I really did enjoy the Pico bind off. I wasn't too sure that I would. So with this project, I did end up using this black, which was just Cascade Heritage that I had in my stash. But if you look at these, the main black color that I showed you at the beginning that was So Happy Jane, I don't have any of that left. I used all of that up. And then this here was what I had left of this Trilogy yarn. And with that one, I had 6 grams left, and that wasn't enough for me to do this bit down here. And I honestly cannot tell you, I can't tell you what this little bit was. It was something that I had in my scraps, and it was the most similar thing that I had to this, so that's what I used. And then this here was my Plucky Knitter. And I have, with that one, I had 7 grams left. So I did pretty good on yardage with this. And it was really a fun project. I can't decide which colors I like better. If I like this down here. Oh, that's so pretty. It was lovely. So I'm gonna quit rambling about that one, but this was a wonderful project. I almost would say I would do another one, but it would depend on colors, truly. Now, once I finished that, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna roll the dice right now, just so if I end up rambling, which clearly I'm in the mood to do today, if I end up rambling and running out of time, I wanna make sure I have rolled the dice to pick my next project. So this project is now off of the wall. It's my first FO of the year. Very excited about that. But let's roll the dice to see what I'll be working on this upcoming week. Oops. Sorry, dropped my keyboard on the floor. It detaches from my iPad. Okay, sorry, got the window glare there. So let's make sure I don't have any other apps open. I don't. Let's open up our dice app. So this first dice will tell us which cubby we're gonna go to, and the second dice will tell us which project to take out of that cubby. So let's roll it. 6, 2. So we're gonna go to the whip wall and look at cubby 6 and take out the second project in that cubby. Let's go see what it is. I'm just dropping everything. Okay, so here's the whip wall. We've got cubby 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And let's go over here. This is project 1. And here is project 2. Let's go see what's in here. Okay, so here is my project bag that was made for me by one of the biggest winners I know. And we will talk about that later. But if you know, you know. So this bag was made for me by my friend Sarah, and it's amazing. I absolutely love the black roses. I mean, I love the whole bag, but black roses are fantastic. In here, I have a matching notions pouch. And I am making a pair of socks. So I have started walking a lot, and so I am working on these socks. Let's see how far I am. I know I only have one of them done, so a portion of one of them started. This is how far I've gotten. They are shorties, and it's got this extra padding on the back of your ankle. This pattern has that in there. And so here is my progress. I've got the ankle portion, the heel, got the gusset decreases done, and now I'm ready to do the foot. So that's where I'm at with this particular project. I feel like this could be a very productive week. Let's see here. Let's see, do I have the ball band in here? Oh man, this is from Sarah. I'm confident. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't think I'm wrong. But it's all come unwound. I gotta roll it back up. Okay, so here is the wool that I'm working with. And it is so soft, you guys. So this will be the project that I work on this week. I am using a US 1 for my socks. I have about 4 pairs of these socks on the go right now in project bags, but this will be the pair I focus on this week. But speaking of everyday socks, I mentioned a hoe earlier. I need to get my watch. And I do apologize if I seem scattered this week, but I've got I didn't even write notes this time. I was just like, you know what? It's okay. I don't know why I stress out about trying to be organized and keep things. I don't need to do that. So if I forget something, I can add it when I'm editing, or I can add it next week. But I'm not gonna stress about it. But I mentioned a hoe that I had this week, so let's talk about that. I have a completed sock. Now, this part of the foot has some negative ease, as you can see, and I love that in my tennis shoe. Okay, so it is a shorty sock. It makes my foot look really big when I hold it like that. So here's my hoe. This wool, what is this wool? Anybody remember? I think it's Plucky Knitter. So I will be working on the pink socks that I rolled the dice for this week. And if I get spare time, I'll work on this one. But I also mentioned the project I had for a deadline. And that would be a friend of mine who's the dyer behind Inner Yarns In, who's a local dyer to me in Idaho. And she had this pattern, and it's called the Nanilchik Swan Show. It is by Caitlin Hunter. And she had posted about how she would love to wear this garment, but she wasn't as thrilled to make it. And she asked if anybody would want to make it for her. Like, she was asking for a volunteer to make this project in her wool, so that she had this sample garment in wool that she had dyed. And I looked at that and I was like, that looks like so much fun. You guys, look at how much fun that looks like. So it just looks like fun. And I wrote back to her and I said, I would love to make that, but it's just not something I would wear. And she's like, well, it's something I would love to wear, but I won't make it. So I volunteered to make this sample for her, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so glad that she is a patient person, because I should have had this to her a long time ago. But she said that she had an event this upcoming weekend, and I'm like, I'm getting this sucker done. So it's done. I have leftover wool of each color, but you guys, look at this. I am taking it to the shop with me tomorrow to block it. Maybe she can meet me there and she can pick it up and take it with her. But look at this. I'm gonna sit back a little bit. I don't know if you can see all of it. Isn't that beautiful? You guys, this was so much fun to make. Truly, so much fun. I love doing color work. However, there are very few color work patterns that I myself would wear, you know, which means I don't get to do a whole lot of it. So I just want to say thank you to Inner Yarns In for allowing me to do this for you. It was so much fun and I truly enjoyed it. And I hope it is what you wanted, because it was a fun project. Modifications that I made. So my friend said, I really don't like things tight on my neck. You guys, this went right over my head. I have got lots of room. She tried it on and she's like, this is great. And when we measured, we had to do it long distance, but I put the measuring tape up against my arm and I sent her a picture of how I measured my arm and said, this is how long my arm is. I think I'm close. And she said, I've got about 5 inches on you, sweetheart. So she needed the sleeves a bit longer. And I was able to get that done. And I got this stretchy 1x1 rib. Let's see, 1x1 rib. Look at that bind off. It is so stretchy. You guys, this was wonderful. And it feels so good to have it finished. It feels so good. I'm so excited to give this to her. And this event that she's going to, heck is that? Hold on one second. I am so sorry about that. I have this tree right outside my window, and there's lots of squirrels and birds that are active right here, right outside this window, which is wonderful. But there was this thing crawling on the underside of this tree branch that it looked like a baby skunk, but it was walking upside down on the underside, and it was like this big. I have no clue what that was. It was not a squirrel though, and it was black and white, like a skunk. But I don't think skunks do that. Anyway, yeah, so I finished the Ninilchik Swancho. I am completely distracted by this unknown rodent creature thing in my tree. I am so very sorry. But that's 2 FOs this week. My Meshy Twist, I'm just glad I got that finished before Nancy's next birthday. And my Ninilchik Swancho that I can block tomorrow and get to my friend. Oh, that's right. Her event is in a town that's about 3.5 hours from me. So a couple of my friends and I are hopping in the car on Friday, and we're gonna drive over there, and we're gonna do the market on Saturday and then come home Saturday night. So it just feels so good to be able to support our friends and be able to have the ability, just the freedom and the ability to go do these things. And I'm just so grateful for the life that I have. So that is that. I am going to go to my nail appointment. I do have a few other things to share with you guys. So I'm gonna go to my nail appointment, and when I come back, the lighting is gonna be a little bit different, but I really do want to share some more stuff with you guys, and I don't wanna feel rushed. So I'll be back. It'll be just a second for you. It's gonna be a couple hours for me, but I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so as I mentioned, the lighting has changed, and I got home after my nail appointment, and first thing I typically do is put on my pajamas. That's what I've done, so I'm a lot more comfortable. I'm in no hurry. So make sure you've got a cup of something to finish the rest of this. I don't know how long I'll be yammering. But I did get some work done on my sock already, which is so exciting. So I worked on my sock. This is where I was when we rolled the dice earlier before my appointment, and that's my progress during my pedicure. So I'm working on the foot of my everyday sock, and I'm gonna continue on. And this material is so nice. Sarah, this wool is lovely. So yes, I'm gonna continue working on this pair of socks this week. I have entered in all of the wool that I used for my 2 FOs into my spreadsheet. I'm going to put these leftovers into my scrap sack because we are doing a scrappy make along here at the yarn shop, and I think that we got the date, I think it's April 6th. I'm pretty sure it's April 6th that we'll be doing that, and I'm really excited about it. I've been able to make these scrap sacks for several folks, and we had a bingo game, and I had 2 prizes of scrap sacks, and it just feels great to be able to put your name on something, and it feels so wonderful to have my name on this scrap sack and the ones that I got to do for the winners of bingo. It just is fun, and they're my friends, and it's just a wonderful thing, and it felt so good to be able to make those bags. But everybody that has signed up for our make along at the yarn shop also is getting one of these bags. So that's pretty great. I am not going to put this Cascade Heritage in my scrap sack because this is kind of a staple that I would keep out and put in other projects, like the Meshy Twist. I could use that. I could use that again. And you know, it's black. It goes with everything, right? Speaking of the bingo game, I just want to take a moment to recognize Sarah. Sarah, you are the winner. You are the winner of bingo. I do not know if you are that lucky in every other aspect of your life, but when it comes to bingo, you guys, so we played bingo a couple months ago, and we played 4 games. There were 2 winners for the first 3 games and 1 grand prize winner. And Sarah won. Sarah was the winner of that grand prize and a pattern prize from one of the previous rounds. So she won 2 prizes that week, or that game. And then we had this last bingo game, which is just so much fun. If you didn't get a chance to participate, we will do another one. Just so much fun. And maybe everybody else doesn't have as much fun as I do, but it's a great time for me as well. And so we had 4 games again. We had 2 prizes for the first 2 games, 2 prizes for the second game, which were the scrap sacks. And they, and then we had our grand prize winner. And as we were playing the grand prize, the finale game, and Sarah says bingo. And it wasn't just that she said bingo. She said, I just want everybody to know that I won. I just want you all to know. And so somebody else had a trophy that will be on its way to Sarah's house, because Sarah said, I don't want the prize. And we got to continue playing, and somebody else won the grand prize, but she wanted us to know that she is the winner. So Sarah, you're amazing. Super, super generous, just a lovely all around person, and it's on its way. Have no fear. You are amazing. And the winner. So there is the recognition, and I love that you participate, and I just want to thank everybody who participated. I hope you all had a wonderful time during the bingo game. We will do it again. We will also be having a cast-on party. So we do have a couple of things coming up. However, I have been so busy around here because, as I mentioned, maybe I mentioned, it was a couple hours ago, so I don't know if I mentioned, I'm getting ready to have my first trunk show. And I have literally hundreds of skeins of yarn here to dye, to get ready for this trunk show. And I have a new toy that I've been playing with, and I'm making stitch markers and just gauge rulers and sock blockers and just all of the things. And I'm having so much fun making all of them. And wool. I've been dyeing wool. So I have one other, I don't. It's not even a knitting project because it's not on the needles. But if for all my knitting projects, I'm all done talking about those. From this point forward, I'm just going to share some of the other stuff that I've been doing, because it is exciting and it is taking up some of my time. And you know, I would love some feedback, you guys. We all go to trunk shows and we all go to fairs, and this is my first one. And I'm just like, I want to make sure I take the right stuff, and I want to make sure I take stuff that people are going to be excited about. And that's kind of nerve-wracking. And I've never really thought about that because I go to trunk shows and I'm the kind of person that I can look at a trunk show and I'm going to find things that I really like. And I usually have to refrain. And I've gotten to a point where I'm not going to purchase from a trunk show unless I already have a pattern for something. Because otherwise I just end up with a lot of wool and I don't know what to do with it. But I have lots of pretty wool. And it's really difficult. I just want to make sure I have the right kind of stuff for folks. And I know not everybody likes the same stuff. So I've really kind of been going back and forth. I have some brighter, fun stuff that are like one of a kind dye mops, like a wool mop, if you will. Like I just threw this in a pan to soak up some of the dye left over from another project. And that's what this was as well. I just put some stuff in a dye pan. So I have some things that are like one-hit wonders is what I'm calling them. Do those types of things get appreciated at a trunk show? I don't know. I really, really would like some feedback from folks. Like, what are some of the things you look for? I've got some fun ones like this. And when I showed this one to Erica, this is the only one that she said, oh, I really think I want to see that caked up. So we did cake that one up because she wanted to see what that would look like. And so of course then she's like, well, it needs to be knit up now. So she helped me pick a project and I will be casting this on because as a knitter, what an amazing thing to be able to knit with your own wool. And that's what I'm excited to be able to do. So I do have some stuff like this that I will be knitting. But then I have loads and loads of other colors that and when I say loads, I shouldn't say loads. I have a lot, like 20 some different colors here that I really do want to be able to make sure I have the right selection at a trunk show. You know, do you like variegated stuff? Do you look for solids or tonals? Do you ever get sweater quantities of stuff at a trunk show? I mean, how does one begin to prepare for something like that? Let's see, I just have a lot and I have been having so much fun with all of these. These little tags are my recipes. That's how I can keep track. I have minis of all the colors so that I can go back and pick out some that I want to do, and I can go back and say, oh, I'm short on purples and greens. I need to get a couple of these. So yeah, you guys, I've had so much fun dyeing, and it's just a good time. I'm having such, I'm not going to say it anymore. You get it. But it has been time consuming. So I have, and this isn't all of them, I have loads over here, but I'm not going to pull them all out because I have something else that I'm super excited to share with you guys. And if you recall, I'm going to be doing an Advent this year. I did kind of I did an Advent last year, but it was something that I very purposefully did for one particular person. And I just made a few extras of those. And so there weren't many last year. But if you watch my Vlogmas over the last 3-4 years, I don't know how many years I've done Vlogmas, but if you've watched my Vlogmas, you'll realize it's something I do with my kids. It's something that I do a lot as a family person. I enjoy my family. I enjoy my home. And so I really wanted my actual first Advent to reflect that. Doing activities together and spending time together and just thought-provoking conversations with my kids and the holidays and just all of that is something that is just near and dear to my heart. And we will do a lot more activities than we will do presents. And that's just how I am. So this first Advent for Karma's a Stitch, I have an example here. It's something that I made probably 8 years ago. And I decided I'm going to do and include this as one of my first Advent. So when you open your package of your mini, because you'll have a little package with your mini in it, and inside, I'm going to move my chair back. Forgive my pajamas, please. But inside of that package, you will also have an ornament. And that ornament is going to get hung on a button. Now, please keep in mind, this was something I did 8 years ago. Okay, this is not what it will look like this year, but you will have what will be the same. This will not be the same, but you will have a Christmas tree. Okay, and this right here are the pockets, and each pocket has an ornament in it. And on the back of this ornament is an activity, okay, that is for your family or yourself or you and your partner. And once you have completed that activity, you'll get to hang it on your Christmas tree. So then by Christmas, all of the buttons on your tree will have an ornament, and those will be the activities you did with your family. Now, I haven't had a chance to do a sample yet, but things that will be different. It will not be this big because you won't need the pockets, because the pockets or the ornaments are going to be in the little pouches with your minis. We're going to have a wall hanging with a Christmas tree and buttons. And it is quilted. Okay, and it'll be quilted. It won't be this exact material. It won't be this exact material. They will each be unique in themselves because I will be, I'm starting now. I'm going to be making them now. And I already have the material. I've already chosen. I've ordered. Let me move my chair back up. I've ordered the material. The material has arrived. And so I have everything I need. But I wanted to take a minute to share with you guys that this will be a family-oriented Advent, an activity-oriented Advent. And I changed that because you're gonna get 3 options outside of which yarn base you want. Because I will offer fingering and DK, and I'll have more information on the color palette and inspiration behind that and what the bases will be. But you will also be choosing. The ornaments will come in 3 categories, and I'll have a family set. So if you have a partner or you have kids at home and you guys are all as a family and you have multiple people, your ornaments are going to be activities that you can enjoy with that group. Okay. The second option you will have is if it's you and a partner, and maybe you and your partner don't have children, or maybe you and your partner don't have children at home anymore, but your partner is somebody who would enjoy doing these activities with you. That will be your second option. And then your third option is maybe you don't have a partner and you don't have children, and you go home and you are excited to do these activities by yourself. That will be your third option, because those activities will be available and they will be focused on a solo participant. So those will be the options that you'll get to choose from as far as the ornament sets. But you guys, I'm so excited about them. As soon as I have an example ready, I will share that again, but I did want to put that out there because that is something that I'll be doing again this year. It's a wall hanging, and what we did was we had ours hanging on our pantry door, and each day we would complete the activity and hang up our ornament. And anytime we had guests over during the holiday season, those ornaments were decorating it, and it was something that we got to talk about, and sometimes the activities were things we could share with our company, and it was just a lot of fun. And it is a lot of work, but it's my first Advent, and I am so excited to have it reflect me and my children. And this is something that will reflect me and my children, and I am just so inspired to have it out there. So just keep that in the back of your mind, because I will be putting those out. I will be getting those done. I have been focusing on getting ready for this trunk show. So yes, I think that's all. I really wanted to share, like I said, I didn't keep notes, and this is a little more scatterbrained, and I'm terribly sorry. But I did want to talk about the Advent, some of the wool I've dyed. I wanted to really talk about my friend Sarah, who's the big winner. And I had 2 FOs and a hoe. And I feel pretty good about having another FO this week. So I think that's it. I am recording this on a Tuesday, and I have some new technology that I'm not sure when I'll have it edited, but I am hoping that I can have this uploaded Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but we'll see. I am also hoping to go to that craft fair this weekend that I mentioned with a couple of friends. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, you guys, I think that's all. I have a lot going on, and I really appreciate your guys' patience with me. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this stuff. So I am gonna go for now, and I hope you're all doing great, and I will see you soon.